You cannot understand what happened on the 7th of October if you don't go back to 1948. If you don't understand how Gaza, the Gaza Strip, was created. Because most people don't know that before 1948 there wasn't such an entity called the Gaza Strip. The Gaza Strip is an Israeli invention in 1948. Until 1948, Gaza was a small town, very cosmopolitical, because it was on the Via Maris between Alexandria and Alexandretta in Turkey. Many people passed through it. It had Jewish, Christian, and Muslim communities living there in coexistence and peace. And then came the Nakba, the catastrophe, the Israeli, what I called in my book, the ethnic cleansing. And what happened was that Israel was able, when it committed the ethnic cleansing, to expel Palestinians to Lebanon, to Syria, to Jordan. But Egypt did not allow Israel to expel Palestinians to Egypt. So Israel had a problem in the south. So they said, okay, we'll give up. They decided not to occupy Gaza. They decided to create this rectangle as a huge refugee camp so that they can push the hundreds of thousands of Palestinians from the central and south of Palestine that Egypt did not want to receive, and to push it to 2% of historical Palestine and close it as a border and let the Egyptian take the military rule over that area. So from the very first moment in 1948, the Strip was a huge refugee camp under pressure in unbearable conditions already in 48. First of all, I think it's worse than ethnic cleansing. I think what we see in Gaza now is genocide. And I don't think that what happened in 48 was genocide. And ethnic cleansing is bad enough. I mean, don't misunderstand me. And ethnic cleansing is an operation that is usually accompanied by massacres. But this is not ethnic. This is ethnic cleansing which has turned into genocide. So from my perspective, what's happening now in Gaza is far worse than what happened in 1948. That's the first point. Secondly, I think you're right. I think that the same international indifference that allowed the Israelis to complete the ethnic cleansing in 1948 is also activated today. And today it's even less forgivable than it was in 48, because 48 there was no television, there was no internet. Unlike today, where the genocide is taking place in front of our eyes, we know every day what's going on, and the governments of the West, of the global North, are fully aware of what goes on, and they refuse to force Israel to accept a ceasefire. This is incredible that the United States administration willingly and knowingly gives Israel a carte blanche to continue the genocide now for more than 3 months. I think what helps me that I already understood that this is going to happen when I wrote in the mid-1990s, when everybody was mesmerized by the Oslo Accord. I was writing very pessimistic articles. Everybody was writing hopeful articles that Oslo will bring peace between Israel and the Palestinians, and I was writing something very differently. I said, you don't understand the Israeli society, you don't understand the Israeli educational system. I could see what kind of young Israelis are being educated. I could envisage how Israel would look 10, 15 years or 20 years where we are now onwards, because I understood that a new generation of Israelis, far more right-wing, far more extreme, far more Zionists, far more racist, are being educated in the school system. So I was ready, unfortunately, for the event. So they didn't shake me.